President Trump announces his nominee today to fill the Supreme Court vacancy left by the death of Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg. The president is expected to name Amy Coney Barrett, a federal judge on the 7th Circuit Court of Appeals. If confirmed, Barrett will be the third justice the president has placed on the Supreme Court, giving conservatives a clear majority. The nomination comes a little more than a week after Ginsburg's death. On Friday, her body laid in state at the U.S. Capitol. She was the first woman and the first Jewish person to hold that honor. It also comes less than 6 weeks before the election, which could shift control of the White House and the Senate back to the Democrats.
The nomination sets up what could be a fierce confirmation battle in the Senate, with the election looming over the hearings. For more, we're joined from Washington by Bob Cusack. He's editor-in-chief of The Hill. Bob, good morning to you. You've already established that the SCOTUS nomination here will be the defining issue in this election, with the election 38 days away. How important is this for voters on Election Day?
I don't think it's going to change many votes, but it certainly is going to shore up the base of both the Republican Party and the Democratic Party, because this is such a big deal. This will really could set the stage on a number of rulings ranging from guns to abortion. Now, most people have already decided who they're going to be voting for. About 80% of the country, polls show. But this is something that I think does help the president. It may endanger some Senate Republicans who are in tough races. But this does unify the party, and that's important for this White House, because he has been at odds with some Republicans over the last 3.5 years.
Senator Kamala Harris will be wearing several hats at this hearing as the Democratic vice presidential pick and as a member of the Judiciary Committee. So what are we expecting to see from her?
Well, Harris is a former prosecutor, and she did very well on hearings with Kavanaugh, and also grilled Attorney General Bill Barr whether Trump was asking him to do any investigations, and Barr wasn't really able to answer that question. He kind of stammered on it. So all eyes will be on Harris. We haven't seen much of Harris recently. She hasn't done a press conference since she was named. So I think this is going to be a big stage for her. Democrats have to be a little bit careful, not going too far and being too aggressive and make likely nominee Coney Barrett look kind of sympathetic.
According to our CBS polling, Bob, Trump and Biden neck and neck in big electoral states like Florida and Texas. So with less than 40 days to go before the election, how do you expect both candidates to approach that?
Well, Trump is going all out for Florida, and absolutely Trump needs to win Florida. If Trump does not win Florida, he's not going to win a second term. So he's recently gave $8 billion to Puerto Rico. He recently announced a prescription drug plan for seniors that could help him in Florida. It's very tight there. And Trump also has to win Texas. He's favored, I think, slightly to win Texas, but that state has been changing over the years. Those are two basically must-win states for the president. I mean, Biden has to win certain states. I think he's got to win Michigan. He's certainly got to win Virginia. But for Trump, it's all in for Florida.
And Bob, the Trump campaign was focusing so much on Wisconsin, speaking of these swing states, and one that he won last year. Now it seems like they're focusing a little bit more on Pennsylvania. What's the strategy?
Yeah. Well, Biden has a lead in Pennsylvania, but he has not been able to shake the president. In between Pittsburgh and Philadelphia, there's a strong Trump base there. So that is something that I think worries the Biden campaign, that they have not been able to really expand their lead, because that is a state that usually goes for Democrats. But Trump won it in 2016, and that is a battleground state. We also don't know some of these states, including Michigan. We may not know for several days after the election who actually won the state.
All right, Bob Cusack, my guess is we'll see you again before the month is out. Thanks very much again for your time. You can see the first presidential debate right here. Our coverage begins Tuesday night at 9 Eastern, 8 Central on CBS.